So this area may look familiar to some of you. I did a video maybe a year or two ago titled like Subaru All-Wheel Drive Defeated or something like that, and a lot of guys came over just given the title that weren't subscribed to the channel and just like lost their bananas. You know, thinking I'm talking trash about Subarus, but keep in mind, I love Subarus. This is my fourth Subaru. Between the wife and I, in total, we have owned 5 in total. So we love Subarus. We'll keep buying them. But at the end of the day, you got to keep in mind that there are some obstacles that, you know, these vehicles aren't going to be able to climb. Every vehicle has their limit. Where that is, and you know how far you want to push it to get over an obstacle is really, you know, up to you. So a lot of people were saying, and this is a different car, we'll get to it in a second here. A lot of guys were saying, hey, you know, you need to use momentum. You know, I could have absolutely done that in that video, but you know, I like my front bumper where it is, so we could probably get over this with a little bit more momentum in that previous model, but just keep in mind the variety of factors. And I'm really trying to test the all-wheel drive system more than like just getting a runoff and testing momentum, really. So this is a 2015 Forester 2.5i, so it's not the turbo. My last one was a 2010 turbo. This one has a 2-inch lift. It has what I would consider better tires. So the last ones we were using were grabber AT2s on 16-inch wheels. These are BFG KO2s on a 15-inch wheel, so about as big as I can go, 235, 75, 15. We're not aired down. We're at highway pressure, even coming up this slope here. So if you can tell down there at all, there's a shooting bench right about there. No, is that the shooting bench? Hard to tell. That's shooting bench right there. And getting a little slip on this grass. The grass is a little bit taller than last time. But anyway, no more talking. Let's just attempt it and see what we can do. I may or may not air down. If I do, I'll let you know, and we'll go from there. So I think I'll start with just leaving the tires as they are. I think our departure angle is going to be okay. I've got that Wilco off-road hitchgate solo there. It's got less power, but it doesn't matter for off-road as far as I'm concerned. You know, it doesn't have the turbo, but who cares? But it does have a CVT, so it doesn't have the 4 EAT standard transmission that the other one did. This does have X mode, which is supposed to work better off-road, but it is, again, it's still a CVT. So I guess we'll see. We'll see how she works. Let's give it a shot. No more talking. I'm going to start with VDC on and X mode off. So basically, turn key, go. And I'm going to leave it in drive. We might put it in low in a minute, So I'm going to give you guys a bit more feedback and try not to get eaten by a badger that may or may not be in this hole right here at the same time. So that was VDC on, X mode off. So with VDC on, you know, as soon as it slips, you know, detects wheel spin, generally what it's going to do is it's going to kill the throttle. It's going to take the computer's going to take the throttle from you. So we're going to do it again, X mode off, and we're going to turn VDC off this time. Again, leaving it in standard drive to see what it does. I got up that first bit pretty easy. I felt a lot better on that than I did the previous time doing it. I definitely have a lot more clearance, and I think I could hit this thing with more speed if I want to. Let's give it a shot. Not the speed, but with what I can. So you may have noticed there wasn't a whole lot of wheel spin there. That's kind of what I expected given what I've seen with the CVTs. I believe what Subaru is doing is they're, even with VDC off, they're allowing more wheel spin, but they're not allowing you to put so much torque to hurt or ruin the CVT. That's kind of my biggest complaint with what I've seen so far owning this and seeing other people doing similar tests. I really wish they'd beef up the CVT a bit more so that way you could actually keep giving it power and let those wheels spin a bit more, kind of like you could do with the 4 EAT. Because I think with combining something like X mode working properly with a CVT that's tough enough or another transmission that's tough enough to be able to continually handle that torque, and allow some more wheel spin, I think it'd be awesome. We got up to the point almost over that little bit where it kind of starts to turn into a diagonal test, where you really get stuck there, and wheel spun, and it started to come backwards. So I think we're gonna try it again. Let's do VDC off and X mode on. VDC off, X mode on, let's go. Try that one more time. This hill's starting to get a little rutted out now, as you might be able to tell in the video. That's pretty steep. It's a short hill, but it's steep. And then again, it turns into that diagonal. So a lot of dirt getting spun up there. Same kind of thing there. VDC was off, so it should allow more wheel spin. I felt like the computer is getting on the wheels that are spinning faster, but it's just not allowing enough torque to get up the hill. Trying to think what I could do next here. I can obviously hit it with more speed, and I think I can get up it, and I'm gonna do that here in a minute. You guys just hold on. I think we can get up this thing with some more momentum. But I want to test the system a bit more. Let's try low, which is not a gear. Obviously, it's a CVT. It's a simulated. Let's try low with VDC off and X mode off. Not really much difference there. Couple things to note, and I forgot to mention on the last run, you'll notice when I was coming back down that hill, you'll hear the brakes kick on. That's because of the hill descent control. It actually does work in reverse, which is something I did not know a couple months ago. So that's the hill descent control kicking in. I'm not touching the brakes at all. It's the computer's grabbing the brakes and doing a nice controlled descent, and it'll do it in drive or in reverse. The other note there is X mode already, if you didn't know, manipulates the transmission in a way that it increases your throttle response, and that you have to press the pedal more to get more throttle, so it's not as sensitive. But it also does something to the CVT in a way that it's already kind of acting in a low type gear, if you will, per my understanding. So I didn't think that was going to do a whole lot. Let's try low with X mode on, VDC off. Once again, because X mode was on, you could hear when I came back down the hill, it started to do its hill descent control, and it kicked on the brakes automatically just to give me a nice, easy, descent down this hill, even in reverse. So I didn't feel any difference there whatsoever. In X mode with low or X mode with drive, I felt like there was no difference whatsoever. The biggest thing, it seems like, obviously this isn't an apples to apples comparison, because every time we go up this hill, the terrain's getting a little bit more rutted. And again, I am on highway pressure tires right now, or highway pressure PSI. So I think I'm gonna go back to VDC off and X mode off. Just like, so turn key, get in the car, turn the key, standard drive, and I'm just gonna hit it with some more momentum. We'll see what she does. So I guess not technically turn key. Turn key with VDC off.
We did it!
So you could tell on the way down there, ABS kicked on. For the descent, I did turn X mode back on. So that was VDC off, X mode off. So momentum wins. Like I've said before, I mean, you know, every vehicle has its limits. I wish we could go back and do this test with the old 4EAT automatic transmission and just see how it compares again, because we got a lot more wheel slip on that one. And I like that the standard transmission with VDC off allowed a lot more wheel slip. It seems like Subaru is just doing what it can do, even with VDC off, to protect that CVT. I wish they'd beef it up a bit so it allowed more torque to get to the wheels in those kind of, it's like you're at a pretty steep incline. I know it's hard to tell from the video, but it's basically, given those ruts, you're turning it into almost a diagonal test. So let's try it one more time. Same thing, bit more momentum, just like I did this last time, but I want to turn VDC off and I want to turn X mode on. Ooh, almost right on my tripod. So again, I feel like it went up a little bit easier that time with VDC off and X mode on. So I personally do like using X mode, given my experience. It's definitely for off-road use. It only turns on and will allow you to stay on under, like, I want to say it's like 15 or something miles per hour. I can't remember exactly. So I like it for that reason. I know that if you guys are up and up on the Subaru videos online, like TFL Car or whatever the hell they're called, they have like a kind of a sour relationship with Subaru, and they've done a handful of videos that they just don't know a lot about cars. Let's be honest. Like they're an everyday guy, car tester, and they don't necessarily know a lot about everything they're testing. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I believe that Subaru doesn't do a whole lot of work with them, among other things. But also they've done a lot of things where they kind of make Subaru look kind of iffy just because they're not familiar with the controls. They're not familiar with what to do. Like, you can't get in a Jeep Wrangler, Rubicon, take it off road and not know how to use four-wheel drive, or not know how to use lockers. Just like you can't get in this thing, which is not a true off-road vehicle, and you can't not know how to use the systems in it, because you need to use them correctly to get up these obstacles like this. So a couple takeaways from this. Like I've said before, I don't want to be too redundant. I wish the CVT was a bit more robust in a way that Subaru could allow more torque to the wheels. In the old 4EAT, you could turn traction control off, or VDC off, whatever you want to call it. It's a couple different systems in one. And the computer would not take throttle from you, and it would just let wheels spin. It would let them spin and spin. And I was spinning up this hill last time, you guys may remember. Just sitting there spinning, in the same position we were in with this one, but it was allowing more torque to the wheels and more wheel spin. This one you could tell it's kind of just like, and you know, there wasn't a lot of spin there. So that's my big complaint there. But at the same time, I think X mode is nice. I'm going to keep using it, despite that last video that TFL did, coming full circle here. I believe they've just picked a proper line. If you've seen that Outback video that I'm talking about, I don't think that really had to do a whole lot with X mode off or on. I think that changing their line was the most important thing. So anyway, every car has its limits. Momentum wins today, and the reason I can get that momentum now, as opposed to the last time we did this test, is because different model vehicle. I believe the approach angle is a little bit different. But also I have a 2-inch lift on this thing now, so you know, I don't have to worry too much about messing that front bumper up, because we got a pretty good approach angle, relatively speaking. So if you guys got any questions, let me know. I may come back here again and do this and actually air down. Again, I'm at highway pressures, and that may help, but given my experience, I'm not sure. Parked at that angle we were, basically at a diagonal test, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. So all right, check you later. Freaking badger hole I was parked over and talking over, and no harm done to them anyway, if there's anyone in there. Definitely turned my license plate. I got to tighten that up a bit. I don't know, I must have hit something on the way down, or maybe backed into a brush back there. But I like the Wilco. I couldn't tell, I'll have to rewatch the video. You guys could probably tell better than I could if that Wilco hitchgate solo high clearance was actually hitting on the bottom. Wheels are kind of dirted up. Kind of cleaned them out as I drove around here, so they're a little bit better than they were before. Here's that hill from a straight angle here. Again, video always makes these hills look like they're not half as steep as they are. This was straight grass. No one had driven up this in probably, you know, since a year or two ago. So definitely some mud. So what we have here is, you see this dip here? This is usually where the front left wheel goes. And then this dip here is usually where the front right wheel goes, because there's a dip, you know, again, diagonal test. So I'm gonna go up top here. Oh, if I can make it up. Jeez. We used to ramp this with our dirt bikes back in the day.